morning, everybody. Thank you to all our participants joining us via WebEx and YouTube. We currently have 10 participants on WebEx, and we have 15 watching us via YouTube. Let us give about 5 minutes for those who are joining us to join us, and then we can start at 5 past. Thank you. Good morning, everyone, once again. It's now 9 minutes past the hour. Apologies for the slight delay. We are having some technical hitch on our YouTube, but our technical team is working on it. For the time being, Sarah, we can go to the instruction slide. I can proceed to give our participants some housekeeping rules before we start the session. My name is Diana Isokata, and I'll be your moderator for today's session. I'll be making sure everything is up and running. So if you have any challenges, please feel free to reach out to me privately and I'll be able to assist. First, I will request all our participants to kindly turn off your camera. We will only have the presenters switching on their cameras as they make the presentations. Please follow the instruction displayed on the screen to do this. Click the second icon from the left at the bottom of your screen. In order to ensure that we have minimal interruption during this session, kindly mute your audio. You do this by clicking on the microphone icon, which is the first icon at the bottom of your screen to the left. And we'll be using the chat box to share feedback and pose questions. We will be tracking the chat box as the feedback and questions are coming in. We will have a question and answer session at the end of the session where the panel will get to address our questions. In case you are experiencing any audio challenges on WebEx, kindly click on audio, then go to audio connection, then select call using my computer. Alternatively, you could join us through YouTube, and I'm going to paste the link in the chat box shortly. Finally, today's session will be delivered via WebEx and YouTube, and the session will be recorded. Thank you. I will now hand over to Moses Gitao to kick us off. Over to you, Moses.
Thank you very much, Diana. I take this opportunity to welcome all of us, our customers, our participants, welcome. And before we go to anything else, I would want to invite Peter to pray for us. Peter, you could bless the meeting for us.
Thank you, Moses, and welcome our participants in this webinar. Maybe we can bow for a word of prayer. Our dear Heavenly Father, this morning we want to thank you. We want to appreciate your goodness and your mercies. Thank you for this opportunity that you've given us so that we can have this webinar. As we have this discussion with our customers, our MSMEs, on how to manage our cash flows in 2021, we pray that you'll be together with us. We pray that you give us guidance. We pray, dear Father, that you even help our businesses to grow, continue to grow. And even as we continue to support our customers, we pray that we continue to have a very good relationship with them, to support them and to understand all their needs. As we start this meeting, we pray that you be together with us. In Jesus' name, we do pray and give thanks.
Amen. Thank you, Peter. Diana, just a confirmation on YouTube. Have you sorted the issue?
Moses, it's being worked on, but I'm following up with our team, with our technical team.
Okay, so thank you. So we progress with the team that is there. And again, welcome all our customers. This webinar is organized in partnership with the ISC, Cooperative Bank and ISC. And today, just as Peter has said, we are discussing managing of business cash flows in 2021. We have had two. This is the third one. We have had two earlier webinars this year, and we started with the economic outlook 2021 and the opportunities that are there for MSMEs. We went into accessing financing for businesses in 2021, and we are linking that one now today with what we are calling managing your business cash flows in 2021. It's an interesting topic. I request that we all stay tuned. I think I would also request that you interact through the chat box. Any questions, any feedback, feel free to interact through the chat box. But before I invite the main presenter, a few things from Cooperative Bank that perhaps I need to share. My name is Moses Getau, Head of Business Banking Cooperative Bank. I do support all the needs of the MSMEs in the bank and also support asset finance as a product. A few things that perhaps I need to share from the bank side of it is that as a bank, we are still committed to supporting the MSMEs in this post-COVID period. And specific to that is that I have a kitty of about 23 billion. I know I said this last time, but I need to say it because I may be having some other new entrants in today's forum. As a bank, we do have a kitty of 23 billion that we've borrowed from IFC to help us support the businesses in terms of coming back from the COVID expansion, because there are people who have opportunities, and I request that you take advantage of that kitty from Cooperative Bank. We are promising a quick turnaround time in terms of loan processing. We also committing to relationship management for our customers. Each and every MSME customer in Core Bank has a relationship manager, and I think we are committing to enhance. We have retooled our relationship managers just to help them in terms of engaging, identifying your needs, and even solving the needs of MSME customers. Further to that, we have also enhanced our digital channels to help you in terms of the transaction. I think this is in line with the reduced physicality, the issues of social distancing, the issues of travel. I think we've, as a bank, we have enhanced our channels just to help our customers in terms of the transactions. That is specifically the M-Corp Cash, where you do it on mobile. The agents, the banks near you, what we call Corp Wajirani. Corp Online, we did revamp our Corp Online last year just to enhance your interaction with Cooperative Bank, and several other solutions that we have offered as a bank or as online solutions, just to help you as a customer to transact with the bank. We also have enhanced our offering in terms of the instant loans, and one of the facilities that we're offering now is through mobile. So you don't have to visit the branch as far as you're transacting. It's only linking your account, and you're able to borrow up to 1 million shillings through the bank. Further to that, as an institution, again, we have also partnered with the government, and this is through what we call a credit guarantee scheme for MSMEs, and this is helping MSMEs now acquire funding. Those who may not have adequate security and have businesses running, we have credit guarantees that are running, and one of them is through the government of Kenya, just to support the MSMEs come back and even expand in 2021. We also commit to continue offering the trainings, the webinars like what we are doing for the MSMEs in 2021, just to ensure that we communicate, we get feedback, and even work together during this period of COVID and even the post-COVID. So it's a commitment from the bank that we continue with that, and also the information dissemination. Part of the things that we have also done is that we have uploaded all the videos that all the material that we've done. We've been running through the webinars, uploaded through our MSME online portal, and I would request that you access it there. We have all the forums we ran in 2020, the ones that we've run in 2021, other additional materials in terms of the training, and even the presentations that we make here in these forums. They have been uploaded on the COP online MSME portal. So I would request that you also visit that portal for more information based on what we have shared and whatever running that you also want to pick from Cooperative Bank. I think with that, I would want to invite our main presenter today, Sarah from ISC. We also have Dorcas from CoBank who will be joining us later, and myself, I'll be coming at the third end of the discussion. But more so is would want to hear your feedback. We want you to engage through the chat box in terms of the questions and any feedback that you have for us as we do the presentation. Thank you so much. So, Karibu, Sarah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Moses. A very good morning to all our participants joining us this morning from different parts of the country. Very warm welcome. Karibuni sana. Welcome on board. For our Muslim brothers and sisters, we say Assalamu alaikum. So I want to just pick up from where Moses has left over, but just in case there's somebody joining us this morning who may not know who I am, I just want to quickly introduce myself. My name is Sarah Mbinji, and I'm in business just like you. So hizo pandashuka zote za biashara tunazielewa. Kindly allow me to use the languages interchangeably so that we make sure that everybody is at ease and that we are able to interact well and make use of the little time that we have available. I am a consultant for the last 25 years, consulting in individual capacity as an SME, and also consultant working with the World Bank Group through IFC. One of my strengths is the development of content, and so they call me, or I'm called, an instructional designer. I've been in business for the last 20 years, and this marks the 21st year. So I'm looking forward to an interesting conversation this morning. And just as Moses has said, today we want to talk about cash flow. We want to talk about cash flow. Diana, can I kindly ask that you locate the mic where we're getting feedback and kindly mute it. Cash flow is what we want to talk about. Cash flow in our businesses. So I think a good place to start is by defining, when we talk about cash flow, what exactly are we talking about? And we are saying there that cash flow is the amount of money that is flowing. In fact, the total amount of money that is flowing in and out of your business at any given time. It looks easy. It looks like a very straightforward definition. And maybe somebody is even wondering, Sarah, why are you defining it? And it looks so easy. But if I asked each one of us, cash flow, kwa Kiswahili tunasema mzunguko ya pesa katika biashara yako. Is it that easy? And the answer is no. There are certain dynamics that come into this. And this is exactly why we are having this conversation, so that we can get to know a few tips that will help us to better manage our cash flows. I was listening to Moses with a big ear. And Moses, as he has said, this is our third session this year. And we have been having them back to back so that we keep the fire burning, we keep this conversation going. And if you listen to him very well, he's saying that there's a lot of cash that is available to us. There is cash, there's a possibility that this cash can flow into your business. He talked about the 23 B kitty from IFC. For what purpose? To strengthen International Finance Corporation. Just in case somebody is not aware, we are all about strengthening private sector organizations, just like you, or private sector businesses. And so to that end, there's an MSME funding kitty of 23 billion. He's also talked about government partnership. He's also talked about continuously, actually from our conversations last year, just making it easier for you to do business, digital channels. And through those channels, we are able to access up to 1 million Kenya shillings, and that money can flow into your business. So this is a good conversation to have at this time. And when we talk about cash flow and cash flow management, none of us is exempt. I myself, I've been a financial consultant for the last 25 years or so. But at some point, I do need money to run my business. I do need money to power my individual, project and so on. And so what I constantly keep telling you is that your banker is your best friend. You can plan, and even the best plans, although we say they are cast on stones, what if an investment opportunity comes up right now? What if a business opportunity arises right now? And you may not have saved, you may not have enough in your bank account to take advantage of that, but through a strengthened relationship. That's why we keep on emphasizing it's very important for you to have a solid and a strong relationship with your relationship manager, your RM. Just by picking, for example, if there was an opportunity, maybe a plot is being sold somewhere, and between me and another person, and maybe you're told this is the price of this plot, and first come first serve. The person who is able to access that money easier, by the time huyu mwingine ameenda kutafuta, by the time anarudi, you've already locked in the sale, you've locked in the transaction, you've given a deposit, and you're good to go. But when we talk about cash flow management, and this is something that I was talking about with Peter yesterday, it is a discipline. Financial management is a discipline. And also, cash flow management is a personal discipline. Ukijifunza kuzungusha pesa zako on an individual level, it better arms you to do the same in your business. I remember in those early days when I was starting business, the place where my office was located, I had a neighbor. And so one of those lunchtimes, she told me, Sarah, why don't we go out for lunch? And I said, yeah, that's fine. And she said, we can use my car. And so we proceeded. I thought that we were going to look for food. And we went and drove into one of those posh malls somewhere in Yaya Center. And we proceeded to go to a very high-end shop, Woolworths. And as we began to look through the store, she began to pick things, handbags, shoes. And I know that she has children, but she was picking them more for herself. And when we got to the counter, we were, they ran the bill, and it was coming to about 25,000 shillings. And because I was just standing right next to her, I was observing a number of things. And she removed her handbag and removed the business card and she proceeded to swipe that. What are we saying here? You're saying what's going on? Her personal business expenditure, which I would say impulse buying at a high-end store in a leafy suburb somewhere in one of those posh shopping malls. I don't know whether it was maybe to make a statement to me that she's more successful in business, but you can imagine there was money in the business account, and maybe a customer had paid somewhere, and that is money that can be used to power the business operations. But this money was diverted into her personal expenses to the tune of 25,000 shillings, just like that. That's why we're having this conversation. And I want to encourage all of us joining this morning. Cash flow management is a personal discipline first. If you can manage this on a personal basis, you'll be more armed, better armed to run the cash flow in your business better. So it's not about trying to make statements by the way you use your money to your friends and so on. It's all about making decisions that will help your business to move forward. I want to share one thing that was very impressional on me, something my husband told me when we got married 23 years ago. He told me, you know what, Sarah? Money was never designed to stay in the bank account. At any given time, you may not necessarily have the money in the bank account, but I need you to show me what the money has done for you. Show me where you have invested. Show me the investment. Show me what's going on in your business. If I come to your business, you may not have money in your M-Pesa and so on. But when I look around, I begin to get a sense of you're using your cash to advance your business and even to advance your life on a personal basis. So this is a very interesting conversation. Cash flow. I know that there are millions and billions that have been flowing through in and out of your business. But the question is, what do you have to show for it? That's the kind of conversation we want to have this morning going forward. Now, I would like us to start off with, and that's why Diana was saying, she's trying to make you more comfortable with the usage of the platform. And I encourage you, please go to the chat box and just write down, tell us where you're joining us from. I was speaking to Kennedy earlier and he says he's joining us from Webuye. Where are you joining us from? Just go to the chat box and tell us that. But also, I would like us to just have a conversation, and this is not even imaginary. We have been in business for some a long period of time, others a shorter period of time. And the objective of this engagement is to see the important place that cash flowing in and out of our businesses plays. And listen to the instructions. What I would like you to do is to go to the chat box and let's just have a brainstorming session. And my question to you is, what would go wrong? What can go wrong in a business, in your business, when you run out of cash? What goes wrong in your business, or what could go wrong in your business when you run out of cash? Let's meet at the chat box. Kindly go to the chat box and tell me what wrong. And Diana, I want to cross over to you. I hope the YouTube channel is up and running, and I can see some feedback coming in. Maybe you can just sample a few and let us know what are our participants saying. Diana, over to you.
Thank you, Sarah, and apologies once again to all our participants joining via YouTube. I've been able to share a new link. Kindly join us using that new link. I can confirm that we are up and running using the new link. I've pasted it on both WebEx and YouTube. Kindly join us through the new link. So we have several participants joining us from all over. I can see Lucy Njeri saying stockouts and less energy to focus. Ilham Amin says everything will go wrong. Let me cross over to YouTube and see whether we have any responses there. So far, nothing from YouTube.
Thank you so much, Diana. I see you, Lucy from Naivasha. I see you. Is that Amin from Bungoma? I see you, Jackie from Mombasa. I see you, Bernard from Diani, and so on. We always look forward to these sessions on Thursday. Brings us together from different places. And I see your feedback. Everything can actually go wrong in your business if you don't have cash. That's the important place that cash plays in our businesses, because without cash you cannot do a single thing. And I want to challenge you, any kind of activity that you can imagine that can go on in your business or any other business, all of it has a financial and a cash flow implication. So I totally agree with that. Everything could go wrong. Operations will come to a halt. Why? Because cash is king. Thank you so much, Frida. I hear you, and I agree with you. Lucy says stock out. If you don't have cash, you can't bring in stock, and less energy to focus. Thank you so much. Na hiyo ndio ukweli wa mambo. These sessions are all about speaking the bare truth and then getting solutions. And then you begin to understand why Cooperative Bank takes it so seriously, that they hold this session so that they can arm you so that you can run your business better. Cash flowing through your business. You can see there are a lot of notes. Some of them flowing in and some flowing out of your business. What I would like to encourage all of us this morning, develop that practice of separating yourself from your business as much as is possible. And I know we fall in this trap, and as the year continues, to move forward, I know some of us are already beginning to make Easter holiday preparations, and you're planning to take a break and fly somewhere, enjoy yourself. Try to separate yourself from your business as much as is possible so that you allow your business to grow. And that's a whole conversation that we'll probably arrange with Moses to have with you, because it has a big impact on the success of your business. So as you can see, their cash is flowing in and out of your business. But the question is, can you show me what that cash is doing for your business? That's what I was asked. And I've made it my business to ensure that it's not about, just having one or two transactions up and up. It's about the big picture. What is cash doing for your business? Are you moving forward? Are you making progress? That's the kind of conversation we're talking about. So when you begin to arrange the cash flow, as you can see here, there are notes all over the place. You need to figure out which of those notes are flowing into my business. That is cash flow. And which cash is this that is getting out of my business? So you begin to arrange that. And that's why I was telling you that this is a discipline. Cash flow management. You begin to ask yourself, hey, what is the cash that is flowing into my business? And this arises from any activity that will result in, cash flowing into your business. For example, sales. We are business people, and we know that you can make sales either through credit or through cash. Now, the minute you make a na mtu anakulipa na M-Pesa or deposit into your bank, whatever nature, as long as it is hard cash money, that is real cash that is flowing into your business. Yes, you have, made sales, and we say you can expand your sales by also selling on credit. It's not just about saying, Sarah, my turnover last year was 15 million. It's about the cash. Somebody said their cash is king, and I totally agree with your business to ensure that when you make credit sales, that you collect, and you collect in the shortest time possible. And that's one of the big lessons and takeaways that we got from COVID last year. It's about collecting every shilling, hiyo ni haki yako, every dollar, every euro, and bringing it into your account, so that into your business account, so that you can power your operations at the business level. Later on, after this conversation, Moses and his team will be taking us through what are some of the products that are available for us, to be aware of, so that we can tap into, we can access. It's all about access to financing. And I encourage you to listen with a big ear. Look about, think about your business. What are you trying to do? Where are you to go? What are some of the needs that you have, and how can you plug into this? Is power, and we're looking forward to that, because that is a direct cash flowing into your business. If you have everything in order, you are able to actually get 1 million shillings flowing into your business via your phone. Isn't that amazing? Also, you as a business owner, any cash you inject into your business, we call that cash flowing in. Those are the notes there in gray. But at the same time, there's also cash that is flowing out of your business. And this arises from any activity that removes money from your pocket, from your M-Pesa, from your bank account. Somebody talked about, I think Lucy talked about, stock out, So when you're buying, whatever you're purchasing, and you're paying cash, that is or direct money flowing out of your pocket. Also, when you pay your suppliers, those are examples of where the money could be going from. Repayment, of your loans. I know last year we talked about, forbearance, and I want to believe that in the participants that we have this morning joining us, perhaps maybe you're one of those who times were very hard last year as a result of COVID, and maybe you discussed with your relationship manager on how you can restructure your loans and so on. These are examples. But you see, that restructuring, or even the fact that CRBs were sort of put on hold, does not take it away. It is your responsibility as a business person to ensure that the business is generating money that will be enough to run itself and also to pay for your loans. So if you're in that category, I want to encourage you, please make cash flow arrangements to ensure that you service your debt. And I'll be giving your debt, and I'll be giving you some ideas, and also cash distribution to the owner. Here, I would like to encourage us as business people, please train your business to pay you a salary. Now, as for how much salary you would desire your business to pay you and how often, depends on the decisions you are going to make, because you are the driver, you're the influencer of your business. The more you generate, the more frequently you can pay yourself, and so on. So please don't fall into that trap, because one of the reasons why SMEs have challenges in cash flow management is because, number one, there's no separation between themselves and the business. Number two, many of us don't pay ourselves a salary. Ukijilipa mshahara, utajidiscipline to stick as much as possible within that salary that you have given yourself. And you see, those are things that can be adjusted as you go along. Why is it important? We're talking about cash flow management, because if the business does not pay you a salary, the temptation of you dipping your fingers into the business bank accounts is actually quite high. And those are some of the practices that totally mess up our cash flow management. And I'll be giving you some tips shortly. So let's track the money that's flowing in and out of our businesses. That means we also need to keep good records. Don't say, I need 100 shillings. This is just 500 shillings. Excuse me. Track every single shilling flowing in and out of your business and keep a record of it. That's what will help you. In front of you, you can see there something that looks like, I don't know what it looks like to you. Does it look like a mtungi? Does it look like a pot? Does it look like, a reservoir? And that's what it's all about. When we talk about cash flow management, unaangalia the money that is flowing into your business, and I'm going to give you some strategies of how you can increase the cash, real cash flowing into your business, but at the same time, you need to control the flow of money outside of your business. So what my encouragement to you would be, open up the funnel, so that as much money as possible is able to flow into your business, and then begin to tighten the tap when it comes to cash flowing out of your business. That's the rule of the thumb. Why? So that at any given time you ensure that you have a pool of cash in your business to use as and when you need to. But when we talk about this pool of cash, we do not recommend that you keep so much money, you're liquid. We talk about liquidity, keeping too much cash. And that's why the bank comes in. And the bank can give you products where you can lock in your cash. where you can put your extra cash in an interest earning deposit somewhere so that you make your money work for you. That is cash flow. So for example, when you want to seize a business opportunity and maybe you have 3 million in the bank, and maybe that 3 million you had put it in a deposit, a scheme that is earning interest for you, you don't necessarily have to use that, but you can borrow against that. It can become a security. This pool of cash can become a security for you to use to access money that will use you to run your business in one way or another. Cash flow. It's about creating that surplus, which you can tap into as and when. And that is quite different from profit, because profit, unaangalia mapato, unatoa matumizi, and then what you have is profit. But it is cash that you need. It is possible for you to be profitable but yet run out of cash. There are so many reasons why that would happen. So the trick here is to be conscious about your cash flow management. And I want to share with you some tips, just 6 tips here that can help you in the management of cash in your business. Number 1, you cannot, they say that what you can't measure, you cannot manage. So if we're talking about cash flow, management, we need to identify, we need to arrange those notes. Which ones are coming in, which ones are going out, like a picture I had showed you earlier. So you need to identify, hii pesa inatoka wapi, which sources? And, am I able to identify where that money is coming from? And also, more importantly, where that money is going towards. So that's about identifying your cash flow and also doing some cash flow planning. Lazima ujipange. There are certain, and we just think about the conversations we've been having in these webinars. We are saying exactly the same thing. You have that business plan, you have your strategic direction, you know what you're trying to do, you need to plan for those cash flows. When you're given a product at the bank, you need to arrange your cash flows to ensure that you're able to service that. So I'll be saying 1 or 2 things about that. Secondly, we'll look at, it's very important for you as a business person to identify the reasons that cause you, what are some of these contributing factors that result in cash flow crisis in your business. And then thirdly, adopt a cash management plan. And then number 4, look for ways and means of increasing cash flowing into your business. Fungua iyo tunnel. The more sources of revenue you have, the better it is for you to run your business. That's one of those golden lessons that we learned from last year. And then we said, tighten the tap. Jaribu kufunga iyo matumizi. And I'll be giving you some ideas on how you can decrease your cash flowing out of the business. And then manage the cash surplus. So those are just a few tips that I want to give you. Let's start with first of all, identifying your cash flow. It's very important that you know this cash that is flowing in and out of my business, is it for the core purpose of my business, or is it for something that is not core? We talk about this core because it is an indicator of your business success. If your business is able to generate money, money is flowing in and out of your business directly related to the reason for your existence as a business, that is what we consider to be a quality earning. It's more quality. And that's what powers your organization, you see? That's a reason for your being. And you need to be able to differentiate between what is critical, what is core, and what is a non-core activity. Step number 1. Step number 2, you need to know exactly the cash flow type you're managing. Is it as a result of operations? Hii ni pesa inaingia na inatoka kwa biashara yako as a result of the operations, what it takes to power your business? Or is it as a result of financing activities or investment activities? Which is which? We have seen sometimes business people take on, let's say, investment projects, and as a result of that expansion, maybe a new machinery that you've brought on board so that you can run your business better, And as a result of those investment decisions, which are removing cash flow from your business, you can very easily find yourself in a situation where you don't have money to power the operations of your business. So you need to be disciplined enough to know which type of cash flow am I talking about. And then concentrate on the core activity cash flows. These are business operating activities. Hakuna haja uniambie ya kwamba umeinvest and then you're unable to pay your suppliers. Hello? You're unable to pay your salaries. That's not how it works. So you need to focus on these things that are as a result of the heartbeat of your business. And then after that, once that is in place, then you can now come and see, okay, what about investment options? What about financing options? The next thing you need to do is to identify the things that cause cash flow crisis in your business. And some of these are internal issues and others are external issues. So internal issues, the biggest one is financial mismanagement. And I've told you that for us as MSMEs, ile kitu inachangia pakubwa hapa, cash, mismanagement, financial mismanagement or cash flow mismanagement is that separation, that mixing of business and personal finances. You want to impress your in-laws, and so you go to the business, you remove money, or you want to impress your friends so that you can do one or two things so that you increase the percentage points in their ranking. Excuse me. It's all about financial discipline. And that's why I was telling you earlier, the more disciplined you are as an individual, the more likely you're going to be disciplined as a business person. So watch out for impulse buying. Watch out for those impromptu, things. Watch out for misalignment. You're not so sure what is core and what is not. So unaambiwa kuna kadil mahali fulani, and you go and you remove all the money or most of the money from your business and you put it in something that you're not even sure about. Financial mismanagement. Another one, and we saw this last year, reduced sales. And we didn't just stop at that. We didn't just say, okay, COVID is it has affected our businesses, our sales have gone down. We had webinars where we talked about how we can go around these issues. We went into online platforms. Why? So that we can expand our sales. Why? Because the more you expand your sales and your cash sales, the more, financially stable you are. Loss of market share, maybe a poor product range. One of the things we kept on talking about last year, we said COVID changed a number of things, but it also changed consumer preferences. So you need to ask yourself as a business person, what does my customer want? And then you focus on that and add value to them according to what they want. So those are internal issues that we need to watch out for. External issues, we don't have to say too much about COVID-19. We know the effect that it had on our businesses and also cash flow. And so when you hear Moses telling you, we have a funding kitty so that it can support your business to come back, to bounce back, so that we can help you to expand. Those are external factors that affected our businesses: depressed economy, competition, excessive costs. I think it is one thing that we learned last year, because we were saying you cannot run your business if you don't have cash. It was about looking for ways and means of cutting down costs. Anything that is not priority, cut it down. Anything that you can reduce, bring it down. That's what we're talking about. And of course, the high cost of borrowing. What amazes me about this point of the high cost of borrowing, people tend to think that banks have very high interest rates and so on. But I often ask myself, because I observe, and as a consultant, I see customers coming, clients, and they talk to me about a number of issues. Why is it that a business person is okay with, going to Shylocks, those are very, very expensive. That's how we lose out on a lot of money. And whichever way you look at it, at the end of the day, you'll find that if you understand the products of the bank and so on, they'll give you a financial solution that is actually cheaper than some of those solutions that you've been pursuing out there. And then you need to adopt a cash management plan. You need to do a little analysis, your customers, because this is where the money is coming for. We are fighting for the share of the customer's wallet. So what does your customer look like in terms of payment? What are their histories? What about the sales, seasonal sales, expenditure fluctuations, and so on? You need to look at cash flow management is about cash flowing in and out of your business. You need to do an analysis. Hiyo analysis itakufungua macho, utajua, oh, so this is how much I get at this particular time. And then you can begin to make decisions around that. You need to be realistic about your sources of income. Where is my income coming from? About possible delays. How can I get assistance from somewhere else? What about my costs? And then you need to not only have a plan, but you need to look at it, review it, and make adjustments as you go along. Another one, increase your cash flows. Look for ways and means of pushing or pumping money into your business. And these are just some ideas. You offer a discount. Unaambia mtu ukinunua the next item, I'll give you a 20% discount. What does that do? It encourages customers to buy from you. And in as much as they buy from you, make sure that you collect as fast as possible. Make sure that cash is flowing into your business. Don't just sell on credit. Hata kama you have a salon and somebody comes and you make their hair and so on, insist that at least alipe at least 50%, and then the rest they can pay at the end of the month. Why do we make such decisions? Cash flow management. Accelerated payments. Of course, if you give me credit, I can tell you, you know what? I'll pay you in 4 installments, or I'll pay you. But I have the kind of conversations we have with you guys in business. You say, "Apana, Sarah, lipa marambili." And then when according to the agreed terms, you need to collect as fast as possible, because the more your money stays out there, it does have a negative cash flow effect on your business. Track your debtors, ama accounts payable, ama mtu yoyote ule unamdai pesa pale nje. Don't allow them to stay with your money for too long. Call them, remind them, have your records to flag out that somebody has your money out there, and make it your business to collect. Advertise effectively. 2020 taught us a lot that we don't need expensive, advertising and marketing budgets. We are able to do that effectively through online, platforms, and it's working for us. And you can see the success of your effort in terms of bringing sales. Make it easy for your customer to buy from you. Akitaka ufikishe nyumbani, fikisha nyumbani. Akitaka ulipa through whatever option, don't restrict the options for them. Make it easy as possible for your customers to pay. Why? So that money flows into your business. And the last one, diversification. That's one of the key things that COVID taught us. Expand your sources of revenue. Look for other ways and means of doing business so that you're able to get more money. Don't over-rely on just one source of revenue. We've looked at how to push in money into the business. What about cash flowing out of the business? Number one, anything that's not a priority, eliminate it. Those good practices that we began to form in our businesses last year as a result of the teachings in COVID, continue to maintain them. Don't relapse. Avoid impulse spending. Try to negotiate with your suppliers so that they can allow you a longer time period, to repay. Take advantage of early payment incentives. You see, the fact that maybe you had discussed with the bank so that you can restructure your loan. Kama uko na pesa, why don't you just go ahead and pay it? Because the longer and longer you take before you repay, do you know it becomes more expensive for you, my friends, brothers and sisters? So if you have some money, it's better you pay so that you can reduce the expenses for you at the end of the day. Track your inventory. That one is so critical. The decisions that you make when you're buying, and also explore leasing options as opposed to outright purchase, which requires quite a substantial amount of money. And not only that, we say the rule of the thumb is try to make sure that kuna kapesa kwa hiyo mtungi somewhere. So what are some of the strategies you can employ? Deposit the extra cash in savings, what you have saved into an interest earning or interest yielding avenue, and then try to pay your debts. Kuna excess cash somewhere. Try to accelerate your repayments. Repay suppliers and ask for a good deal. If you happen to have quite some substantial amount of money, expand your business, upgrade your operations, upgrade your assets, your machinery, or even the quality, and so on. So those are some of the tips. I've gone through them quite fast so that I Moses an opportunity to come in and speak to us about some of the products. Do not worry, as usual, these slides will be made available to you for your reference, and just implement these things as much as possible. At this juncture, I want to hand over to Dorcas. Dorcas, good morning to you, and over to you. Diana, can you hear me?
Yes, Sarah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, I can see feedback. Yes, I'm seeing Peter answering Samuel. Yes, indeed, we will share the slides. Dorcas, are you there? Moses, are you there?
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, Sarah. Dorcas is coming in. Dorcas?
Yes, Moses, thank you so very much. Good morning. I'm happy to have this discussion with all of us. I hope you can hear me, Moses.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Dorcas.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. Sorry, guys, I might not be able to project myself. I'm not in a position to be on video mode. But I will be able to make the presentation. And Sarah, thank you so very much. That was really, indeed, very powerful presentation. And now that we are talking about supporting our customers and facilitating them so that then they can be able to have cash flow available for business, ours is to ask ourselves this morning, how can we ensure that we support our customers in matters of ensuring they unlock their cash flows? And this morning, as I was listening to Sarah, one of the things that really, for me, is very critical is what I have started by saying that as much as possible, when you are doing your transactions as a business, one of the things you need to ask yourselves every time you're making a contract or you're signing a contract with your customers, one of the first questions is that you should ask yourself, how soon will I get my cash back? In most businesses, of course, we realize people are transacting on cash. That means they are able to receive cash at the time they are transacting, or what we call cash on delivery. In other circumstances, of course, we have customers, or rather we have businesses where you sign contracts and you allow your customers some time to settle. In such circumstances, then, as a business, you have to be very careful because most of these end up straining your business in terms of cash flows, because it means you will release stock or you will offer services, and it will take you some amount of time before you can receive your cash. But at the same time, also remember, at this time, you are also getting services elsewhere, and you have to pay for those services. So anytime you give your customers a credit period, it means you will be out of cash, yet you will require some time to collect from your customers. So one of the most critical things we have done as a bank is to come up with a framework or an approach where we are supporting our customers with their suppliers and also their distributors. And this is what we're calling supply chain financing. And in this, we are able to unlock whereby we as a bank come in, we pay your suppliers, and this gives you an opportunity then to be able to get whatever services or whatever supplies which you put into use or which you stock. And once you sell, you can come back to us and you are able to make that payment. So this helps you in terms of accessing stock. It helps you also in terms of accessing raw materials for those of us who are in manufacturing. It also supports you so that it can facilitate you deliver whatever services you have to deliver to your customers. And while at this, then we ask ourselves, how do we ensure that your customers are also benefiting, or you are able to lock your customers so that you will always have supplies in good time? The other bit is for those of us who are in manufacturing and have distributors, again, we will help you do collection from those distributors, or we will help you at the point when you have already given your distributors or your customers, when your customers buy from you, instead of you giving them a credit period, then you bring them to us. We do what the banks know best, which is lending to your distributors. For those of us who are, for example, if you have a wholesale and you have retailers buying from yourself, and we are able to settle you, and we are left collecting from your customers. Then the other bit, which is also very important, is where we also offer what we call trade finance facilitation solutions. I'm talking to customers here who are either in wholesale business, customers here who are in businesses in the distribution side of things. It could be retailers, it could be wholesalers, it could be customers who are customers who are already working in the construction site. You have a contract you're servicing, and you want to access goods from your suppliers. It could be also petrol stations. Petrol stations would like to access fuel. So what we do is we give them facilitation tools like bank guarantees, and you give a bank guarantee to your supplier. With that, then you are able to unlock your cash flow, and you don't pay in advance. We give a guarantee on your behalf, and you will be able to access whatever goods that you need. It could be, as I said, if you're in wholesale shop, you will be able to access goods in large volumes from your suppliers. You could be maybe a distributor of Coca-Cola. Again, we give Coca-Cola, for example, the bank guarantee, and out of that, you can be able to access whatever stock that you want. If again you are in hardware or you're in construction and you want to access things like cement or steel, again we can give a bank guarantee on your behalf. You access the cement or the steel. Once you sell, you can always settle them maybe after a credit of 30 days. And that way you will be able to unlock a lot of these cash flows. The other type of guarantee we also issue, and especially for customers, again, who are in construction or customers who are supplying to the government, this is a solution where called retention guarantees. In this case, what happens once you have delivered on a job, and you're supposed to be out there, waiting for your money after maybe 6 months when the defect liability period is done. Instead of waiting for the 6 months, we come in as a bank and give out a retention guarantee, and you can be able to access your money as we wait for the defect period to be over. Again, closely related to that is the advance payment guarantee. These are customers who are supplying to big institutions, or customers who are doing big contracts to big institutions. You could be contracted by a school, you could be contracted by a university, you could be contracted by institutions like Safaricom to do a piece of job. One of the things we advise our customers to do is request for a certain percentage of that money in advance, so that it can support you in mobilizing for whatever contract you're doing. And in this, of course, the other organization will ask you for a kind of a guarantee. And as a bank, we will come in to give you that guarantee, and you'll be able to access your money in good time. Please do feel free, in case there's anyone with a question, you can always drop it on the chat box, and Diana will alert me so that I can be able to take the question up. Finally, again, another area that we also encourage is in your collection. As we said, as much as possible, always make sure that you're collecting.
Nilikuwa nakuuliza hivi.
Yes, Sarah. Yes, Sarah.
So unanisikia?
Nakusikia, Sarah. Yes, nakusikia.
Diana, kindly mute. Oh, thank you. Dorcas, please proceed.
Sorry. I thought that was addressed to me. My sincere apologies, team. So the other area we have also encouraged our customers is, as you do your business, make sure as quickly as possible to always collect from your customers as quickly as possible. And we offer various solutions to assist you in collection. We have a robust network across the country. You can always, once you open an account in one of our branches, you can be able to have money deposited in your account anywhere in any of our branches across the country. The other area which has been very critical especially during this time of COVID, is the M collection. Now that we are going cashless or cash light, we're encouraging our customers to use the M collection solutions, where where we give you a pay bill number or a till number, and your customers can actually, once they deposit money on that pay bill, the money hits your account immediately. We also have Lipa na M-Pesa termination solutions, where we are able to terminate money that has been deposited to your M-Pesa immediately to your account. This is where we integrate your pay bill or your till number with our system, and then once you're paid on M-Pesa, that money hits your account immediately, and you're able to access that money from your account. We also have what we call a PDQ or POSs. There are some customers who don't like carrying money and they like to pay by card. Again, we give you a POS, and your customers can actually be able to run their card at your shop or wherever you have a business. Other collection solutions also are around COP kwa Jirani agents. This is a service that supports you so that at whatever time, at whatever day, you can actually walk in any of COP kwa Jirani shops, and you will be able to access our services, or your customers will be able to deposit your money and it will be able to hit your account. Remote check scanning for customers, or for some of us who are heavy on checks. Again, you don't have to come to the bank to deposit your check. We want to give you an easy time so that you don't have to keep coming to our banking halls. and you can actually be able to deposit a check right at the comfort of your office or even at the comfort of your house. We do this whereby we give you an equipment, you're able to scan your check and it hits your account immediately. Of course, finally, some of the ways that we will facilitate you in making payment. I'm sure by now, most of us have already been onboarded on our internet banking services, which is a very robust system that helps you make whatever payments you want to make. It could be payment to KRA, payment for your utility bills like KPLC or even water bills, or even payment to your for your employees, that is a salary payment. So these are ways that we facilitate you, and I am sure by the time you come to us, we have all the solutions that you require to make it efficient for you to be able to operate. I want to give an opportunity now to Moses to take you through the other slides, and we will be able to take any questions at the end of his presentation. Moses, over to you. Moses?
Moses, kindly unmute your mic.
Maybe Diana, if there are any question, I can take any question around the areas we have presented as we wait for Moses to come on board.
Dorcas, I confirm that now we don't have any question. The only question that was posed was one of our participants had asked for the video, which Peter confirmed that all the participants will receive the video.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe let me just remind the participants to kindly switch off your videos. We only need the presenters coming on camera, but the rest, kindly switch off your videos. I can see we have someone whose video is on. Kindly switch off your video.
Okay. So Moses, are you there? Okay. Peter and Dumia?
Dorcas, it seems Moses and Peter have a bit of a connection challenge.
Okay, maybe I could then proceed.
Yes, please, as we wait for them to rectify the issue they're facing.
So thank you so very much, Diana. So even before I leave that to get into the other MSME transactional solutions, the other item maybe I could have forgotten to mention
Dorcas.
for customers
Sorry,
who are already in,
Dorcas, can you hear me? Dorcas, sorry, before you proceed, we have a question. Ilham Amin is asking, kindly explain how the Lipa na M-Pesa termination works and what is required of us. Dorcas, should I repeat the question?
That will enable you access your goods in good time and ensure that whatever goods have been shipped are good of high quality, just like you had wanted. So with this solution, of course, we are able to mitigate the various risks that our customers may face, especially in terms of the quality of goods, or where goods may end up getting spoiled in transit. Finally, some of the other MSME solutions that we have. This is a presentation for Moses, but I'll take it up. Some of the items that we do for our MSME, we have what we call packages, various packages, and in these packages we have three types. We have the gold package, we have a silver package, and we have a bronze package. In the gold package, of course, these are customers who are in the high tier of our I mean, in terms of their transactions and even in terms of their turnovers, and depending on what kind of turnovers you're achieving as a business, we are able to give you a package that suits you and a package that is able to elevate you to the next level. Then we have various business loans. Again, as I said, one of the things we want to facilitate our customers so that then they can be able to get to the next level of business. And one of the ways we help you unlock your capital is through working capital loans. This is where we facilitate you to either increase your stock or even do expansion of your businesses. Some of the businesses over time have grown, and for you to get to the next level of business, of course, you will need some facilitation. You will want maybe to open a second shop. Maybe you will also want to open a second, outlet. Again, we are able to come through for you in terms of stocking. We have secured term loans. And of course, this is for businesses that have achieved growth. And again, you also want to increase your capacity, and you're able to structure something around whatever you're doing to enable you to get to whatever level of trading you want to get to. And of course, when you talk about unsecured loans, depending on what package you are enjoying, you could access up to 10 million if you're if you're under the gold package, or 6 million for those customers who are under silver package. We mobilize business loans of up to 1 million, and you have, for those of us who have been in our customers, you have seen how much we have been able to support, especially on e-credit. And this is one area that has really supported, especially when you need very quick cash, which is normally required from time to time. In business, it could be you're paying duty, you're paying your KRA, you're paying your rent or bills. Again, this is something we can be able to facilitate within hours. Asset financing, this has been a big strength for us as a bank. And in asset financing, what we are saying, you don't require any other kind of security. We use the assets that we are financing you to cover or as collateral. So it is it's self-financing, and whether it is a motor vehicle, whether it could be equipment for those of us who are either in manufacturing or even construction, it's something we can be able to arrange at a short notice. Then the other solution is around mortgage finance. I'm sure it's a dream of everybody to own a home. It starts even from plot purchasing, where we finance you. We are able to finance you to buy a plot, and out of that, we do a financing of up to 80%, and you contribute the other 20%. Normally, we can finance for periods of up to 10 years, giving you an opportunity then to spread out your cash flows to up to 10 years. And then out of that, it means then you will not strain your business or you'll not even do any diversions. So we are able to package something depending on how your business is doing. We also do additional 8% for the closing costs. That is, of course, for legal charge, of course, for, or other costs that have to do with valuation. We are able to support you on that, and we are able to give you an additional 8% for that. Apart from that, we also would also purchase for you a house or a property which is already constructed. We also have construction or infrastructure financing. And for those customers who have already accessed any of those and they already have securities we have with us, we do what we call equity release. How does equity release work? You already have a security with us or a facility with us, and you have paid up to a certain level. You can allow you access any monies that can be accommodated for the amount of money that you have already paid or the room that you have created over time. For example, if you bought a house 3 years ago and the value of the house was 100 million, and we had given you a loan of 50 million, and you have paid 25 million of that, we allow you to access the amount of that headroom so that you can either use it for business or you can use it, for other purposes. What are the key benefits here? Of course, we are talking about financing for properties in urban areas and also and all over the country. Again, depending on the location, we are able to discount or we are able to pass the benefit to you depending on where the facility is. Financing to suit diverse income streams, of course, that we have said over and over again that we don't restrict you as long as your revenue streams are solid, or you can be able to justify or you can be able to show us your repayment ability. We can be able to tailor make a solution that suits your needs. Finally, in terms of advisory on property trends in the country, we have a fully fledged department, that is our mortgage department, that works with you to give you solutions or to even give you advisory services, and you can be able to get advice on where, what location, or what kind of what is happening in that area of real estate. With that, I would want to find out if Moses was able to join us so that he can also be part of the team that will be taking up any questions that will be coming up, and even as he does the wrap up of this webinar. Moses?
Thank you, Dorcas. Sorry for the challenge. I think we had a technical challenge, but we are back. Yeah, thank you for that powerful presentation, Dorcas and Sarah. And I think in the course of the presentation, I picked two comments. One of the participants said cash is king. I think the other one talked of cash is like oxygen. And I think linking to what Sarah and Dorcas have talked of is to say when you lack oxygen as a person, what happens? I think it's the issue of is it passing out or maybe some issues. I think that's what that person is equating cash to. And I think Dorcas have now linked to say, how then do we, as a bank, how then do we support you collect cash when you sell? How do we link you with your suppliers? And also, of course, your buyers, how do we link you with those people? I think Dorcas has shared about that. The other thing that he has talked of is how as a bank, we have facilitated our customers to just make those transactions easy in terms of collections and the payments. How do you pay out? But the key thing is what she talked of, how then do we support when there are those gaps of cash? I think those gaps will be key. How do we support those gaps when there is when you need cash. And I think she has talked of the working capital facilities. I don't want to go back there, but I think that's the emphasis that I wanted to bring out. How do we support you in terms of when you have some gaps in terms of the working capital in your business? There are several solutions that she has shared about. Moving to my last slide in terms of the closing remarks, Sarah, is to say as a bank, we'll be running a lot of activities in 2021, this kind of webinars of every Thursday for MSME customers, just to share the insights. We'll be bringing speakers like what we've brought in now, Sarah and Dorcas, to just share the insights, and we'll also be wanting to hear feedback from our customers. We'd also want to go regional in terms of the regional forums. So those in Coast, those in Western, those in Central will be coming closer to you through your branches, just to have that discussion. We'll be sharing this information, of course, through our portal. And if things easen up, I think we also have those physical meetings that you normally do as a bank within your locality, just to ensure that we keep in touch, and we keep abreast with what is happening with yourselves. Internationally, we are planning to organize a business trip if things open up, and of course, through the MSME portal, we'll continue to share these insights that we are hearing through the webinars, and all the others that will be coming through as information from the bank. As we pick questions, Diana, maybe is to say, what is the call to action? I don't know whether, Diana, you have any questions. Maybe you could be picking on them. But the call to action to my customers is to say, I request that you engage you do engage your relationship manager, your branch manager. They have a lot of information. We may not share everything here, but those people have a lot of information in terms of how then to manage your cash, how do you manage your business, and all those things that you require as an MSME customer. I think you've talked of the payment and the transaction solutions. I would request that you also leverage in them in terms of helping you make the corrections from your customers. They don't have to come to you physically, but they don't have to deliver cash to you, but you have solutions that will help you. The correction that we talked of, the termination on Lipa na M-Pesa, the COP Bank the COP Online. I think those will help you in terms of correcting and making payments to your customers, just to ensure that you keep your business afloat. The other thing is, if you have any borrowing needs, financing needs that I talked of earlier, I have a kitty of 23 billion that is available for MSME customers. Feel free to visit your branch, talk to your branch manager or relationship manager. Keep attending these seminars, these webinars that you're running every Thursday, and any other events that we'll be calling through you to whatever to participate. Thank you so much. God bless you. And Diana, maybe you could pick feedback. Questions?
Yes, thank you, Moses. We have two questions, one from Ilham Amin, and Amin would like to know how the Lipa na M-Pesa termination works and what is required. And then secondly, we have a question from Steve. Steve is asking, what are the qualifications for the 1 million mobile business loan? Does it depend on any rating? Over to you, Moses, and to address the questions.
Thank you. I mean, the issue of Lipa na M-Pesa termination, I think what you are saying is that the money that you receive through your the till number can be terminated directly to the account in core bank. Just need to fill in an application at any of your branches to try that we send to Safaricom to ensure that anything that you receive from into that account terminates into your account online. So it's a form that you need to fill in at your branch to help you correct that money immediately into your account. You notice that the till maybe will have limitations, but if that money hits your account, you have other ways of transacting with it, maybe through checks, payment to other customers, meeting your other needs. So it's good you fill in the form that we do share with Safaricom, asking them to terminate everything to your account. Steve, a very good question in terms of the mobile. How do I qualify for the 1 million mobile? Number one, we have a score. Is to say that you are scored based on the transactions that come in. So for Steve, I would encourage that any transactions that the transactions that you do need to pass through your account, because we rate you based on the transactions, the deposits, and the kind of transactions coming into account. There are several parameters, but the key one is the transactions coming into your account, and we do give you a score based on those turnovers. With that score, you qualify for amounts up to $1 million. But also, it's critical to ensure that you transact into that account. That's how you qualify. We give it for a period of 1 to 12 months, 1 to 6 months, sorry, based on your requirement and the business need. I think any other question, Diana?
No, Moses, that's it for today.
Okay, I think if they don't want to ask other questions through the chat, would we maybe, I don't know whether there is anybody who would want to contribute. Maybe you could allow them to talk through the whatever, the mic.
Yeah, they can be able to unmute if any of our participants would like to say
any
something.
Of our participants, exactly. Anybody would want to say something, or maybe feedback or some clarity. 1 or 2 customers would want to hear your voices. Seems there's none. I think with that, then we come to the end of our webinar today. Thank you very much for attending, and just keep at it. I think as I commented earlier, we'll keep running these forums every Thursday. Please be on the lookout for the topics that we'll be sharing every Thursday that we want to run the forums. And thank you so much for coming. God bless you.
Thank you, Moses, and goodbye.
Goodbye, good day, and all the best as you transact cash. Bye-bye.
God bless you. Ni kelen ko ina ji ka yayi